What's going on, guys? I'm back with a brand new spoiler review for you guys. And I just watched a movie called Y2K. I actually didn't just watch that movie. I watched that before Craven the Hunter, okay? And you're probably asking me, why am I doing a spoiler review on Y2K when I didn't do the normal review on this? Well, I was. I really was. But then it saddened me that I had to ask the question, what happened to comedy? What the hell happened to comedy? It's just been slaughtered. It's been slaughtered. And I have three major points to bring up about this. First point I got to talk about, man. Now, yes, this movie had tons of nostalgia because I graduated in 2000. This movie was based in 1999, which is a year before I graduated, of course. So there's a lot of memories that brought back, like my first time listening to Eminem, or just wondering what the world's going to be out there. How's it going to be out there now that I'm not in school anymore, or on my way to college, or what I thought was going to be a
woohoo party
necessary time in college. We'll get to that later. And, all the fun stuff that goes along with your last year in school, right? And so those were great memories I was having. But tell me why did they have the worst lead character and love interest in this movie? They are the worst couple I've ever seen in a comedy. So maybe there are worse couples than that. Besides the point. It's besides the point. All right, let's talk about the lead actor, first of all, played by Jaden Martell. All right, I know I've seen him somewhere else. It just didn't play a character like in this kind of movie. Okay, we've had very interesting lead characters in other comedies, other teen disaster comedies, like Can't Hardly Wait. The guy from Can't Hardly Wait who just couldn't shut up. He narrated the entire movie, but at least he had something to him. He was the narrator. It was more interesting than what this guy brought to the table.
Preston.
Completely.
Preston.
Preston, that was his name. Preston had more to give than this nincompoop. Hey. Yes, I said nincompoop. I don't know why I said that. That is one of the worst old man words you could ever say. But anyways, he just didn't do anything. He didn't even partake in the festivities. And you know what I'm talking about. When the time came for the festivities, he really didn't partake in that scene. Just boring all around. He was just there to be there, to be the straight guy, to the fat dude, the big dude, the big guy.
Come on now, brother.
I didn't mean to say it like that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We'll get to him in a couple minutes, a while down the line. But what the hell? What the hell? If it was all about him completely, oh my God, man. Oh my God, bro. Then there's the love interest played by Rachel Ziegler. I was gonna say Renee Ziegler, but good thing I rethought that. Yeah, that's the spoiler part because this is a spoiler review. You know, she's supposed to be one of the popular girls in school. Actually, dating a lot of guys. I don't know. You'll see if you watch this movie. But you kind of can figure, okay, You got the guy who's not that popular, and then you have the girl who is way more popular than he is. Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. And he's fiending for her the entire movie. I wonder what's gonna happen. Now, yes, it could have went the other way, and she ended up turning him down. I wish that would have happened, and he would have pursued something else. But that didn't happen, and the predictable thing happened. They got together, and they are the most boringest people I've ever seen in love. Just boring. Just boring. They are the epitome of paint drying. It's losing here. You're losing here. You're losing here. And I'm going to get to something even worse of why this is so bad to me in a minute. Don't worry. The next thing I have to move on to, the creativity of this movie. It's inspiring. It's inspiring. It had potential with the creativity marks and the points. Just of, we always wondered what would have happened if Y2K actually happened. Power was going to go down. All machines are going to be on lock. We were just going to be in a world full of darkness. This movie took it further and made all the machines attack us and murder us in cold blood. Which is it's interesting. It can be funny too. But where they drop the ball is their incredibly stupid cameos. We don't want to see. We don't at all. We have no interest in seeing guys like this.
Probably gonna peel my skin off and sneak into your bedroom and sew it on.
Why was Fred Durst in this movie? We didn't ask for. No one ever asks for Fred Durst to be in a movie. There's so many options you had for the 2000s, the 99 to the 2000s, as someone once said. You had Korn. You could have had Jonathan Davis from Korn. You could have had Marilyn Manson. Actually, that would have been funny, an apocalyptic comedy. To have Marilyn Manson running around actually scared of the end of the world after all the music he's made. But you picked Fred Durst. We didn't like him back then. We liked a few of his songs. We liked a few of Limp Bizkit's songs, and then we just got wrapped into the lore of it. I got one Limp Bizkit album that was decent. That's it. And after that, man, I just gave up on Limp Bizkit. Okay, it lost its fizz, man. It lost its spark, and then so did Fred Durst. He's just the most annoying person ever. He is a horrible person. He's a horrible person. Fred Durst is the kind of guy that when you go to a party and you see that he's at the party, you leave. You leave. You want to leave now. Now it's time to go. You invited this guy. You invited Fred Durst to the party. That you could have invited anybody else. You could have invited anybody else. You invited Fred Durst to the party. And that's what they did with this movie. That's the cameo you picked. See, it's got me just one of the worst cameos in a comedy yet. And they didn't even make it funny. It didn't make it funny. It was actually annoying. He sang one of his worst songs that wasn't even his song. I never really cut for that song that much. Faith didn't like it that much. All right. So you killed it in a bad way with your horrible cameo by Fred Durst. Next thing I have to rant about with this movie. Don't get me wrong. Julian Dennison who played Danny in this movie, is hilarious. He was in Deadpool 2. He was in another movie. I just can't remember which movie that was, but he was in Deadpool 2. And whoever thought that he would grow up, I mean, well, we knew. We already knew. He was already making his way up to it. And so here he is now, a very funny comedic actor, at least. But my gripe is, why did you make my boy go out like this? He took the dirt nap early. The movie decided to make his character one of the first characters to die in this movie. The best character in the movie, the funniest person in the movie besides this guy. And that's not saying much, because that's all you had to work with after he died, man. He would have saved this movie if he was all the way through it. Now, there is a session where he does the thong song by Cisco, his own version, and it's hilarious. And we get that comedy gold. And we get more of that comedy gold at the end. Keep watching, you know what I'm talking about. This is a spoiler review. Don't get mad because I'm saying that. But yes, you decided to kill off the only thing that would have made this movie at least 5 times more interesting than what it was. Now, don't get me wrong, this was funny in some points without, Danny. But it would have killed. It would have had me rolling out of my chair if you would have kept Danny in the entire movie, at least for the majority of the film. I don't understand why they made that decision. It was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen a comedy make. A comedy makes, a lot of weird decisions that they probably shouldn't make, especially now. And so with that said, I have to ask the question again. What's going on with comedy? What's happening to comedy now? We don't get anything good. We're never going to get this. We're never going to get this again. You know what's in the back of me. We're never going to get any of that. We're not even going to get another Can't Hardly Wait. And there's better movies than that now. It was. After that, not now, but you know what I'm saying. I just want to laugh. I just want a good laugh. Can I get a good laugh at some point in this present time? Because y'all are depriving me of joy. All you're giving us is horror, and more horror. What's wrong with this new generation? What's wrong? Very morbid, just scary people. Nah, don't get me wrong. I love a good horror movie too, but we gotta mix it up, man. Well, that's all I got right now, man. Just don't watch this movie thinking you're gonna just see the second coming of 40-Year-Old Virgin or any of those, man. I'm sorry, man. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. Okay. The guy that I call the human Cartman, he knows who he is. You man, back to the drawing board, bro. Back to the drawing board. Subscribe, like, please share this.